Climate change is an existential risk for the bustling city of New York, which is famous for its illustrious skyline and dynamic culture. The political drama around climate change, in which climate change deniers impede critical action, further complicates the situation by adding another layer of complication. Nevertheless, in the middle of this upheaval, a solution presents itself. Building a $119 billion powerful seawall. All this has to happen before 2030, when New York could be underwater. In this video, I will discuss the difficulties encountered, the team who are driving the project, the design that has been suggested, and the timescale for its completion, the significance of collective action, and the funding alternatives that are being considered to preserve New York. But before starting the video, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get all the latest updates. I will make more videos on interesting topics in the future, so if you want to see them, subscribe to our channel. Regarding climate change, the political stage can seem like a battlefield. Even though there is a lot of scientific proof, some politicians still choose to deny or downplay how serious the problem is. This denial hurts our efforts to make good policies about climate change and takes attention away from the urgent steps that need to be taken to protect places like New York. To get past these political obstacles, we need a united front, a unified voice that recognizes how serious the situation is and calls for action. It's important to get public support by having meaningful talks that teach people about the effects of climate change and make them more aware of them. We need to stress the importance of leaders who put climate action at the top of their list of priorities and know how important they are to protecting our cities and the world. It's time to cut through the political noise and get more people to see the truth. Climate change is not a matter of opinion or debate. It is a pressing global problem that must be dealt with immediately. We can break down these barriers and pave the way for real answers by electing leaders who understand the science and are committed to making climate change policies work. Let's discuss these issues with our friends, family, and co-workers. Let's talk about the science proof, the stories of people hurt by climate change, and how important it is to act now. By helping people understand and care about each other more, we can build a group strong enough to demand change from our leaders. It's not just about saving New York, it's also about protecting the future of our world. We can change this future by voting for leaders who put climate action first and holding them to their promises. Together, we can get past the political drama and make a plan for the future that will help our towns stay alive and grow and keep future generations safe. Rising sea levels and storm waves threaten New York, so building a seawall has become important to protect the city. This barrier could protect the city from the harmful forces, similar to the Great Barriers of Holland, with giant pivoting doors. But making such a big structure takes many different things into account, not to mention the hefty price tag of $119 billion. Architects, engineers, and people who know about the environment are working together on this big project to build a sea wall that does its job well and is good for the environment. The forward-thinking team has to deal with both the sustainability of the project and its strength. They must deal with the problems caused by climate change and think outside the box. For the sea wall to be built right, it's important to know much about expected sea level rise, wave patterns, possible storm surge heights, and New York's unique coastline. It's a difficult jigsaw puzzle that needs careful planning and unique answers. They want to add buildings that absorb waves and floodgate systems. They also want to make natural habitats for marine life. By keeping the city safe and taking care of the earth simultaneously, they hope to meet both needs. Their idea goes beyond a simple wall. It includes a sustainable ecosystem that makes living together easier for people and animals. It's about realizing we can protect our city without upsetting the fragile balance of the world. by adding parts that reduce the impact on marine life and thinking about the long-term effects on the environment. These builders are paving the way for a more comprehensive and forward-thinking way to protect coastal areas. The knowledge and hard work of these planners help make a sea wall that not only meets the needs of today, but also looks ahead to the needs of tomorrow. Their new ideas and deep knowledge of how architecture and climate change affect each other mean that New York will have a strong barrier that shows how we can adapt and do well even when things are hard. All this has to somehow happen within budget. You would be surprised how little $119 billion is for a scheme of this scale. A project of this size needs a well-thought-out plan and careful execution to come to life. The schedule for the seawall project includes many important steps, each of which is important to its success. Once the feasibility studies are done, the project moves on to the design development part. Here, architects, engineers, and other experts work closely together to turn thoughts into plans that can be built. They think about how the coast of New York is different from other places, how the sea level is expected to rise, and how waves move. They try to find the best balance between being useful and good for the environment through careful design. Getting the appropriate permits and approvals is also a very important step. At this time, you'll work with government officials, regulatory bodies, and other interested parties to ensure you follow all legal and environmental rules. Doing environmental impact assessments, addressing concerns, and coming up with answers that cause the least harm to the ecosystem around the site. Getting money for a job of this size is a challenging task. It means looking into different options, like public-private partnerships, government funds, and private investments. The financial side needs to be carefully planned and negotiated. A building can begin once everything has been set up as it needs to be. Because the seawall project is so big and complicated, it will likely be done in stages. This helps keep the city running as smoothly as possible and gives the most vulnerable places the attention they need. By building in stages, the project can move forward quickly while having as little effect as possible on the lives of New Yorkers. Even though it's hard to give an exact time frame because every project is different, early estimates show that the seawall project could take a few years. The construction schedule takes into account that the project has many different parts and allows for careful planning, execution, and monitoring at each step. The estimated date of completion gives a glimmer of hope, showing that New York will be stronger and better able to deal with the risks that climate change will bring. The seawall project tries to protect New York's future and make sure it can handle the challenges that rising sea levels and storm surges bring. This will be done through careful planning, teamwork, and a strong commitment. It shows how strong the city is and how hard everyone is working to protect neighborhoods from the effects of climate change. Public opinion holds a significant role in determining the success of ambitious projects, and it is crucial to effectively navigate and shape public perception of the Seawall Initiative. This involves clear and compelling communication about the situation's urgency and the seawall's importance in garnering public support. Addressing concerns and skepticism and engaging in open dialogues and educational campaigns can foster a sense of collective responsibility and understanding among the community. Balancing the need for protection with environmental preservation presents a challenge, requiring adherence to stringent regulations and conducting thorough environmental impact assessments. Proactive engagement with stakeholders, government agencies, legal experts, and collaboration with environmental organizations ensure that the seawall project aligns with sustainable practices and safeguards the natural environment. By actively managing public opinion and considering environmental and legal considerations, the seawall project can move forward with the support and understanding of the community while effectively mitigating potential risks and protecting New York City. Building the seawall will cost a lot of money, So it's important to look into different ways to pay for this big job. It becomes important to look for money through public-private partnerships, government grants, municipal bonds, and private donations. It is important to realize that investing in the seawall has long-term economic benefits that far outweigh the original costs. The seawall guards the city's most important infrastructure from the damage that rising sea levels and extreme weather can cause. It also helps keep property values high, so people and companies can keep doing well in a safe place. Investing in the seawall is also a smart choice for New York's future because it helps prevent tragedies caused by climate change from causing huge losses. Exploring new ways to pay for things and benefit people can bring in more private investment while putting public interests first and ensuring the city will be strong in the long run. How to borrow? Climate change is a huge problem for New York City, which is at a crucial point. For effective answers to be put into place, climate change deniers must stop causing political drama. In the middle of this crisis, the idea of a seawall is a spark of hope. New York can build a strong barrier against rising sea levels and storm surges by getting builders, engineers, environmental experts, and the public to work together. The seawall project isn't just about protecting the city. It's also a sign of everyone's pledge to a resilient and sustainable future. It shows how well we can deal with problems, get past political differences, and keep our favorite cities alive for future generations. If we act now, we can save New York and start a world movement to stop the terrible effects of climate change. Let's work together to make a future where our towns and communities can thrive despite the changing climate. So that's all for today's video. If you like this video, click the like and the bell buttons. We'll have another video for you soon. Take care until then.